Hi, you're watching Video 101. I'm John Crossman, and in this segment today we're continuing our discussion about effective skills that good editors have. And in this segment we're going to talk about spatial intelligence. If you are familiar with education and education training, this is something they talk about intelligences. And there's kinesthetic intelligence. Some people learn by moving, some people learn by listening, some people learn by reading. Most people learn a little from everything, but everyone kind of has a predominant way of learning, and these are labeled as learning styles. Well, one of the intelligences among all these other ones is spatial intelligence, and that is you can be born with the gift of just being able to look at something and go, yeah, that's 2 feet tall. Or that's as long as a football field. There's some people that look and they go, I have no idea, get a ruler and we'll measure it. And also, so not only understanding size and space, but the relationship between it and all this kind of stuff. And so an interesting footnote in my career is that when I was in middle school, I grew up in the East, and we got a battery of tests, I think in the 7th grade, and I was called down to the office a week later and asked to fill out the test again. They didn't tell me they thought I had cheated, and they didn't, but they just said, you took this test last week, we'd like you to take it again. And I went, oh, okay. It ended up that I was in the 99th percentile for spatial intelligence. And the way they tested that is they would take a 3D object and unfold it and make it flat. And then you were supposed to choose what it would look like if it was folded up. And I mean, I didn't think anything of it. I thought, well, yeah, if you fold it up, it'll look like this. Well, apparently I got them all right, which was not the norm. And I don't even remember what all the shapes are, but you'll see in this example, how the test looked, and how something looks when it's in 3D. And it was just, I naturally saw it. So that is a skill that helps you when you're editing, because there are spatial relationships that you have to be aware of. You can learn them, but you may have heard of the 180-degree rule, which is an invisible line in a scene. And basically the idea is that if you split the scene in half and put a line through it, whatever side the camera starts on, it has to stay on that side. So when you're showing this person, you're from this angle. If you're going to show that person, you're coming from this angle, but you're on the same side of this invisible line. And it works with more than just 2 people in a scene too. That's a brief outline of the 180-degree rule. So having that spatial intelligence, I have done a lot of 3D work in my time. Not dinosaurs, not that kind of 3D work, but logos and cities and buildings and homes and stuff like that. And so really even understanding how to use a 3D program is very helpful if you have some kind of spatial intelligence, because you're working in more than 2 dimensions. And so knowing where things should be and how they line up is critical. So I think spatial intelligence is a gift that I was given. I think it's something that can be developed. I've certainly developed that skill over the years, but it's also something I had at the beginning, which really helped me to tell stories in a good manner as an editor. I'm John Crossman, and in our next segment, we'll talk about communication skills when you're watching Video 101, and we'll see you next time.